Welcome all, it's Kaale, and I'm bringing you my first ever recorded locals recap. Enjoy. This footage is recorded in the hobby shop known as Grimdice. Shout out to Dom and Stu for being such amazing people, and thanks to all who turned up for this event. And of course, thanks for letting me film the games, everyone. So this first game was a Tier Elements versus Sky Strikers game. I myself being a Tier Element pilot, and my opponent obviously being Sky Strikers. My opponent used to play Tier Elements, but he decided to take a step away from the Tier Element build, and now he'll definitely be taking a step away from the Tier Element build because of the new ban list. All I can say is rest in peace, Tiers. One of the funny moments in this duel was about 1 or 2 minutes into the turn when I went to go to one of my first fusion monsters. I realised that I didn't have my extra deck on the table, and we kind of looked at each other and was like, and thankfully it was in my deck box, and we kind of laughed about it, and then we just proceeded to play as normal. I'm quite thankful that the local environment which I play at is pretty chill, to be fair, so cheers for being so forgiving. There was an element to this game. It was part competitive and part coaching, in a way. My opponent knows my deck essentially way better than I do, considering like how I mentioned before in the video, he used to play the deck. Mine is a more budget friendly version without the field spells and no Rhino Hearts. Unfortunately, I just can't buy them, it's as simple as that. I just couldn't afford them at the time. So he was helping me extend, well, not so much extend my plays, but he was sort of giving me pointers after I'd made the move on what I should have shuffled back in, what I should have sent, how I should have fused, and I was quite thankful for him to telling me that information after I'd already made the play instead of coaching me through the game. All in all, I managed to win the first round. I just did what Tier Elements do best. He won the second round, he did what Sky Strikers did best and managed to linkage me. That was quite an interesting one. And then the third round, I believe time was called, and I had just a few more life points than he did. There was a couple of battle phases conducted within that last game. He just sadly didn't see the Sky Striker cards as much as he had hoped to. He kept drawing into board breaks like Raigeki and Dark Hole, and the odd occasional hand jab here and there. I just managed to overextend through that, push through, and managed to win the game. I'd just like to give a personal thank you to the Sky Striker pilot for helping me understand the Tier Element deck to the best of his capabilities and my understanding. I hope that we both come across a new deck with this new ban list soon. Now, if there's one thing I've realised when it comes to recording these videos, is that I need to set my phone to not rotate. This game was against a branded Despia player, and I have to apologise infinitely because I illegally activated and resolved a card in this game which I believe may have turned the tide. I activated Branded in High Spirits and revealed a fairy in my hand to then send from my extra deck Elder, Entity, Entis, and then proceeded to activate the Entis in the grave to pop a card on the field. Now, Branded in High Spirits specifically states that it has to be a level 8 fusion monster with the same type as the one revealed in hand, and all I can do is apologise. So not only did I waste an extra deck space on a card which I thought was legal to play at the time, I essentially cheated, and I am sorry. I do respect the Branded Despia deck. Branded Despia can catch a lot of players off guard, Mirajay is just really strong, Masquerade is just so annoying. I'm looking forward to playing the Bestial branded version with the new cards that have been released from the Photon Hypernova set. I've had a look at a couple of deck lists and they just look amazing. I'm looking forward to playing with that one maybe. And there it is, caught in 4K, activating Entis from the grave after it was illegally sent there to target the card on the field. How stupid can I possibly be? I did try to make the Elder Entity Entis play in a future match in this video, and it was pointed out to me by someone who knows the game way more than I do, and I was just like, great, I can't believe I did that last game. Ultimately, these mistakes do just happen sometimes. Unfortunately, we didn't have a judge at our locals for this particular event. We are only human at the end of the day. I believe I managed to get quite lucky in this game because my opponent more or less nearly went into Mirajade. Although they did, I super polyed the Mirajade away and then they activated the Mirajade effect, and then I was like chain link 2, caught by the grave. The card's a one-off, not too sure how I feel about it. It's in there for a reason I suppose, but it is what it is. saying, the less you know, the more you think you know. And Yu-Gi-Oh players can't read. Evidently, I live true to both of these sayings, and all I can do once again is apologise for the illegal move that I've made in this duel. I realised once I actually read the card, which I know is quite rare for us Yu-Gi-Oh players. It does happen from time to time, but once I read what the card actually said, then I kind of just kicked myself. I was like, I can't actually believe I've been so stupid. It is what it is, sadly, and once again, I am truly sorry. One of the funny moments in this duel was when I realised that the opponent was playing Waking the Dragon. Now, that card is just a pure meme. Funny when it goes off, hard to pop, but when it pops, it just don't stop, you know. The verdict of this game was me winning 2-0, and I'm not really going to ride on it too much because, like I said, I cheated essentially. So I'd just like to thank my opponent for playing through that, and I understand that is up for both players to maintain a legal game state, but I should know better. So once again, I am sorry. I would like just to give a quick thank you to the hobby shop for allowing me to use their 2-player mat, the Cyber Dragon one. I like the artwork, I like the style, it looks amazing. I would also like to thank my opponent for allowing me to film this duel, and I'm looking forward to playing them properly in the future. Now this game was one I did lose. It was against Scareclaw with, I believe it was like the Adventure package, and what else was in there? The DPE package. There was just all sorts of crazy stuff in this deck, and I've never been against like the Scareclaw cards themselves. And Tryhard was just so menacing. It was just so frustrating to try and get around. I believe it was in this game where I did try to make the Elder Entity enter play. And my opponent, like I said, he just knows the game more or less inside out. Although this was the third game of the day, I'd say that the element was still pretty chill. My opponent was kind of making jokes like, oh, if I make a misplay, then, you know, everyone's going to hate on me, it's going to be pointed out in the comments, blah, blah, blah. But then, obviously, you know, hypocrisy, that ain't be me. It was me who made the misplay, so yeah, whatever. Just put what you like. Fully aware of the mistake. It is what it is. This guy's piloting skills are just beyond belief. Every single potential out that I may have had, he just outed it, or just played around it, or baited me into making the move and then proceeded to play over. I was just like, wow, like, I couldn't believe it. The power of this deck, combined with the knowledge that this guy has, is just more or less unstoppable. I did get quite lucky in one of my games. I managed to basically lightning storm his back row and then evenly match his field. But even then, I believe that was in the second game, that did get me the win. The third game was just absolutely crazy. Time got called. I was extending. I thought, right, I sided in scatter shot. I was like, if I can just deal 500 life points damage, that's me done. Proceeded to activate a Tear Element monster effects. He was like, yep, spooky dogwood. And I was like, oh. And we kind of just looked at each other and laughed, and he's like, I knew it was coming. I was like, to be fair, man, yeah, I deserve that, absolutely. That was definitely the highlight moment of this match. Another thing I've noticed when I'm filming my videos is that I need to get the lighting a little bit more adjusted essentially. I've noticed a fair bit of glare on the card, so you just have to forgive me. Like I mentioned before, this is like the first time I've ever done this. Fingers crossed that if people are willing to partake in more content, then the content quality will be better. I understand that I will get some feedback from this, you know, how to improve, what I could have done right, what I did wrong. It's all just part and parcel of trying something new, I suppose. So this is game 3. Time got called. Carried on extending. I was like, what's going on here? And then next thing you know, can't remember what chain link it was. There it is. There it is. Right there in 4K again. The memes. I guess that's some element of comeuppance from my previous mistake. Yeah, I deserve that. Well played, man. Was not expecting that. Madness. So the final game was against a Dark World player. I quite like this deck. Quite like the hand loop version of it. You know, just being able to just essentially shut your opponent down end on a couple of negates. It's their turn, they can't do anything. Great power. So my opponent decided to reveal Mothman to use its effects. Ended up in the grave. He was umming and ahhing about whether or not to use its effects, to where we both draw a card and then we both discard. Unfortunately, he decided to go, yep, I'll do that effect. I think I caught him off guard because I was playing magical muskets last week, and I don't think he paid too much attention to the Kaale to then make the link that I was probably playing Tear Elements. Decided to discard the Tear Element monster off the effect and then just proceeded to fuse and fuse and fuse. Played through the board that he made, and I just managed to get the better of him in this game. I managed to make it to top cut. There's quite a few of us who went 3 wins, 1 loss. The Scarecrow player was undefeated at that point, got into the top cut. I ended up against him again. He just absolutely decimated me in the last round. Couldn't really do much about what he had on the field. Great game all in all still. Great day. It was nice to see people opening boxes, wrappers everywhere, cards everywhere, good pulls. Congratulations to the guy who did win the event. I believe he was playing the Labyrinth deck. Didn't get the opportunity to go against him, but I'm looking forward to maybe dueling him next weekend in the next locals coming up. Take it steady, guys. I hope you liked the video. I'm looking forward to making future content. I'm looking forward to playing future games. I hope everybody has a good day. Look after yourselves.